elements, latch or flip flop, these are generally depends on the current as well as the previous input. That is why it is being used in the finite state machine, but it is not alone, cannot be used. So it is can be used along with the combinational logics. Okay, so this is called in case of a finite state machine, we call this is a token or state. Okay, so in terms of like memory element, some books say that memory element is there. Okay, that is nothing but a token or state. Okay, so you can see in finite state machine, so the output of the flip flop is taken back and given as a one of the input to the combinational logic. So how this kind of circuits will be there, so we'll go in details of what kind of circuits will be there and how their functioning is there, what are the, because in sequential design we have to only important consider is here related to the timing diagram. So we are mostly going to discuss about the different timings issues that come in the designing of sequential circuits. So if we are designing any sequential circuit, what kind of timing constraints you should take into the yesterday we discussed about the clock skew. So if clock skew will come, what is the remedial solution, right? How we need to design the combinational block or as well as the our sequential element block. Okay, so this is flip flop and latches are the called as sequential elements. Okay, so if token moves through a pipeline at a constant speed, no sequencing element would be necessary, right? So if there is a constant movement, as I discussed in the pipeline architecture, okay, is one of the example of a sequencing is like a fiber optic cable. Okay, so fiber optic cable has light pulse are sent down to the cable, next pulse sent before the first reaches end of the cable. So that is an example of a pipeline kind of thing, right? So no need for separate hardware and separate pulses. Okay, so but dispersion sets minimum time between the pulses. So we need to set in a fiber optic cable what will be the next pulse, and in between we need to set the timings. Okay, so that information can be sent properly. Okay, this is called the wave pipelining in the circuit. In most of the circuits, dispersion is high, so that is why we need to take care about the timings and all. Okay, so delay fast tokens so that they can don't catch slow tokens. This is the remedial actions we need to take care in case of a fiber optics cable, that we need to delay the fast tokens so that they don't catch the slow one. So in case of a use flip flops to delay, so that is why we have to use flip flops to delay the fast tokens so that they move through exactly one stage in each cycle. So in every stage we need to take care about the delay, right? And it has to be go in sequence one by one, not in the higher speed or lower speed. Okay, so max the circuit slower. Okay, that is the disadvantage. You can say the max the circuit slower, then the just logic delay. That slower making the slower kind of thing, that is called a sequencing over. So this is the most important thing that we are going to study here. That is called a sequencing overhead. Okay, some people call this as a clocking overhead or a sequencing overhead, but it applies to asynchronous circuits too. Okay, so it will basically we'll first discuss about the synchronous circuit. So what are the sequencing element? What do you mean by sequencing element? Okay, so sequencing elements are, as I told, latch or flip flop can be a sequencing element, and the latch can be a generally it is a level sensitive device. So I'm going fast because you know all those things. Okay, level sensitive, edge triggered, all those things. I'm not going into the details. So I'm just focusing on the what are the concept and in the syllabus. So latch is a level sensitive device, and it is we example is the D latch. Okay, this is a level sensitive device, and flip flop should be edge triggered. So edge triggered will have a D flip flop also can be there, a D register or master slave flip flop arrangement. If you are Mac, that is called the edge triggered kind of device, right? So important here is the timing diagram. So if for the latch as well as the flip flop, the timing diagrams will be different. Okay, so as you know that the we have like if you are preparing a D latch or D flip flop. Okay, so it is one is based on the level sensitive, one is based on the age triggered sensitive. So accordingly the output will be decided. Okay, so there is some example shown here. One is shown as the D latch, okay, clock and D input, and one is shown as the D flip flop. Okay, so what will be the output of the Q latch and Q flip flop, that you need to understand. Okay, so in the output of basically timing diagrams is we also seen in the combinational circuits. So I'll ask a question: combinational circuit, which kind of delay we have encountered? So we have encountered about the propagation delay, right? So propagation delay. So here you can see their list of different delays are associated in the sequencing logic. So in sequential logic, there is not only limited to one propagation delay. There are multiple delays are come into the picture. Okay, you can see that there are TPD, that is called the logic propagation delay, TCD called the logic contamination delay, TPCQ, that is called the latch or flip flop clock to Q. Okay, CQ, that means TP stands for the propagation, TC stands for the contamination, and CQ, clock to Q, that is called the CQ, stands for the clock to Q delay. Okay, and TCCQ means contamination clock to contamination delay clock to Q. And then TPDQ stands for propagation delay, D to Q delay. So D to Q is called input to output delay, we can say. Okay, so that these are the different you can say delays are associated. So if there is a no clock, sorry, if in the case of a clock, you can see that clock to Q is a different delay and input to output is a different delay, right? D to Q delay in the latch especially is there. So in the flip flop, we have only clock to Q delay or contamination clock to Q delay, but there is no kind of input to output delay. In the latch, it will be there, out input to output delay or D to Q delay. So we can say in latch we have additional delays come into the picture compared to the flip flop. So the difference between the flip flop and you already know level sensitive and age triggered. Okay, so age triggered means it will have only clock to Q delay. And then very important factor, that is called the T setup and T hold time. Setup time and hold time is very important. So it can be occurred in both the things, latch or flip flop. That is should have some setup time as well as should have some hold time. So we'll discuss this setup and hold times in detail. Okay, so you can see this is a combinational circuits. Okay, so how different timing diagrams are associated with the combinational circuits. So in the combinational circuit, we have let's say A is a input, okay, and Y is the output, right? So we know that after some propagation delay, the output will appear, okay, is a after the combination block. It can be combination block, can be a NAND gate simple, or maybe full adder or something else, right? That we have already gone through. So we can say there are two type of delay associated, propagation delay and contamination delay. And contamination delay is always lower than the propagation delay. So what is the difference between propagation and contamination delay? So propagation delay, yeah, as you know that we always compared with respect to 50% of the input to the 50% of the output, right? But contamination is the dead delay that when our output is going to start, okay, when you can say if any system is there, if we are providing input, and when the system going to start responding with respect to particular input, that is called the contamination delay, but it is not stable in nature. Okay, the output is not in the stable in nature. So output only get stable after the propagation delay. You can say contamination delay is initial behavior of the system, okay, when the system start responding, okay, but it is not actually stable. So after the propagation delay only, the output may be stable, okay, and I will get the correct measurement, right? So this is the in case of a flip flop and all, this contamination delay will become a very important, because it will derive your setup time and hold time. Okay, that we'll discuss. So you can see, if you see the second one is corresponding to the Second one is corresponding to we have the flip flop. So in the flip flop we need the required a clock, we need the required a D input, and we need required a one output, that is Q. So they have the three elements there. So if the clock is applied, then the D will always give the output at the age triggered condition. So it can positive age triggered, negative age triggered. So here we are considering positive age triggered. So that is why every timing diagram you can see that D2 clock, there is a arrow, is a blue line is there, that is called the setup line. Is it visible to all of you? T setup. So what is that T setup? So T setup is the setup time required, okay, by the input. Okay, so input must be stable before arriving a clock. That is the mandatory condition. And these slash lines are there. You can say tri-state, tri-state. It is not a stable state, right? High impedance state is there, and it can be a logic one or a logic zero, right? So yeah, the information, it is all binary information. So this can be like 001, 1000, depends upon the input, how many number of bits of input is there. If it is one bit there, you can okay. So the input must be stable. The question is that input must be stable, okay, before the clock arises. uh, okay, so if we are like, let's say we have a clock and input is a D. So when the clock arises at, let's say, 100 picosecond, okay, then D output must be stable before the 100 picoseconds time, okay, at the age of it should not come right exactly at 100 picosecond and not. So it may give some unviolated output, okay. It must be stable before the some period of time. That is period of time, that is called the setup time. Let's say setup time is 30 picosecond. That means your output D must be stable at the 70 picosecond, and the clock should arise at the 100 picosecond. So that 30 picosecond window should be there. The output must be stable. 1 minute, please. So is this slide visible to all of you again? Okay, so you can see this four different kind of delay associated. I am talking about this particular block, and different timing diagram associated with that. You can see, okay, and we required a setup time. I was talking about the setup time. So we can summarize like setup time is that input must be stable before arising a clock. That period of time, that is called the setup time. So we can derive what should be the minimum. The minimum time should be there, okay. So to calculate the setup time, so I'll go through the constraint, okay. I'll go through the constraint of the flip flop. So I will give example, right? So this is very important topic, and you can expect one of the questions coming in your end term examination from this particular topic, okay. So max delay in the flip flop, okay. So what is the maximum delay possible in the flip flop? As we know that if we are a fast token and then we need to minimize, we need to introduce some flip flop, and to maintain that fast token should be delayed by some time, okay. So how much time it should be delayed, right? So there should be a proper design, okay. Then only we can say that we have provided some delay. So let's say, for example, we have two flip flop in arrangement. One is F1, one is F2. In between that, there is a combinational logic is there. So that will go as per the requirement of the clock. You can see this, the first one is the clock. Second one is the Q1, that is the output of the flip flop 1. Okay, and then there is a D2. That D2 is nothing but the input to the flip-flop 2, that you can see in the diagram. It is very clear. Okay, so and TC is the clock time period. Okay, so what are the different timing associated with this particular three things you just focus on? So the important here is that combinational logic is there. So combinational logic will give what kind of delay? It will give always a propagation delay. So you can say Q from the Q1 point to coming to the D2 point, there will be propagation delay. So you can see here, this is considered to be a propagation delay. Okay, and as I told, for the setup, for the input to be set up before arising to the next clock. So what was the next clock? This is the next clock. Okay, and this is the next clock uh, rising age. So the input D2 is should be stable. Okay, so that is why it is considered as a setup time. So input here at this particular point, input is stable because the output have come to a stable state after the propagation delay time. So at this will be the ending point of the propagation delay as well as starting point of the setup time, because it is has already stable. So if you talk about the complete clock, so and one more thing is that the when the we talk about the first flip flop, in the first flip flop you can see that the flip flop should have also the propagation clock to Q delay, TPCQ. So that come from the clock to Q, that is called the clock to Q delay, just we have seen. Okay, so the TPCQ always be there with the any kind of a flip flop logic. So you can see this particular time from the clock to when the output is going to be stable, the flip flop output is Q1. So Q1 is going to stable after some period of time. So you can say this is called TPCQ. Okay, and we can see that if you combine all the three delays, TPCQ, TPD, as well as T setup. So TPCQ belong to the flip flop, TPD belong to the combinational logic, and T setup is a requirement, a necessary requirement. Okay, so if it is not met, then what is the max delay constraint? So that is why it decide the max delay constraint. What is the max delay constraint? That means what should be the maximum delay in a combinational block that we should able to design so that it will not violate. Okay, so if the combinational delay is have to design in proper way. So that is why if you write in terms of timing diagram, so what should be the equation of a propagation delay? What should be the maximum delay possible at the combinational logic? Okay, not more than that. Okay, so that can be decided. Okay, and that value will be given as TC minus 1 minute. What will be the correct answer? The correct answer is TC, that is the total time. Okay, total time. Okay, minus which will be the element? There are 4 times element is there, and the 3 times element TPCQ plus TPD plus T setup should be equal to clock period. So simple. So if you know the timing diagram, you can calculate is very easily that TC minus a TPCQ. Here it should become, this is the first component, and this we need to evaluate, and this will be the second component. Okay, so we can say if you minus TPCQ and T setup from the clock, that we can able to find out the combinational logic that have a certain maximum delay possible in the combination logic. So it will not violate, it should not violate that particular maximum delay. Okay, so if it is violating that particular maximum delay, what will happen? That T setup will come later. If the T setup will come later, so it will violate, that output will not come properly. So this will call, you can say, setup violation. So if this max delay is not achieved, we can say it is a setup violation. So if setup violation is occur, then the F2 may not function properly. Okay, that is why we are doing all this exercise. So this is related with the understanding of the timing diagrams, and choosing the correct value to design, like which kind of flip combination circuit should be there. Okay, and that is why we required optimization of the delay. So every combination logic we optimized using the logical effort method, right? All those things will be applicable here. So for designing this combinational logic, and it can be used for the sequential logic as well. So the maximum delay across the combinational logic design using logical effort method, are a particular method we use for optimizing the delay, should be equal to TC minus PCQ minus T setup. That is the essential criteria for the flip-flop arrangement. Okay. So I'll go to the, is it any questions from this particular point? What is max delay constraint? Is it clear? And for the reference, you can use the book Neil West. Okay, Neil West book is digital integrated VLSI design. Okay, so where these things with the timing diagram, there is a separate chapter for the sequential circuits. So you can go and read all those things, right? So as I told also, I'll going to ask questions in the next week. I will take a quiz, okay, consisting of the topics that were I covered after the midterm examination. So be ready for the quiz next week. It can be any day starting from Monday. It can be on Monday also. Okay. So this is the announcement I am making here. Okay. Is it clear to all of you?
Sir?
Yes.
So how
Yes.
to calculate TPCQ and T setup?
T setup should be given. I will give some example, right, in the at the last of the presentation, in terms of numerical values. Okay, so this value should be given. TPCQ is the requirement, like propagation. You know that propagation of the, if your latch is prepared, that what is the propagation delay of the latch should be known. T setup should be known. What is the minimum time required before coming into that latch should also be known. Then only we can calculate. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So the T setup is the minimum requirement, you can say. Okay. And that is why we are designing the combinational logic circuit in such a way that it should not violate the T setup time. If the logical circuits are designed very wrongly, then delay will come more. If the delay will come more, then it will scratch the area of the T setup. So if they scratch the area of T setup, then setup time violation will occur. If the setup time violation will occur, then the subsequent stages will not function properly. Is it clear? Okay. So another type of combinational logic, okay, that is called the, basically there are three type of logics there. Okay. One is called the flip-flop, second is called the latches, and third is called the pulse latches. Three types. In the latches, there are two category. One is called the maximum two-phase latches, and another is pulse latches. So in two-phase latches, basically there are clocks, right, like this, phi 1 and phi 2. So they'll prepare the phi 1 and phi 2 in odd number or even number. So phi 1 is a even number and phi 2 is odd number. And you can see there are in between there is a latch. In between the latch there is always a combinational logic 1 and combinational logic 2. So now the timing diagram has increased from the one level to another two stage level. So you can see that the working of the clock will have with respect to phi 1 and phi 2. So in this case, what should be the max delay constraint that we need to calculate? Okay. So the max delay constraint, the total TPD for the combinational block will be equal to TPD1 and it is equal to TPD2. Okay. Just like the previous one. But in this case, you can see this there will be delay associated with the TPDQ, okay, for the logic for the latch 1, and similarly TPDQ2 for the latch 2. Okay, and you can say that the sequencing overhead will be depend, because there is a, in this case, the clock are arising after so many period of time, so there will be no such problem of there is no such problem of setup violation. Okay, that is why they have prepared in the phi 1 and phi 2 clock. Okay, so that in that case only we have to consider the delay associated with the flip flop logic. Okay, latch 1. So it is not flip flop, it is a latch 1. So TPDQ1 and TPDQ2 will be the sum. Okay, that will minus from the total clock. Okay, that will give the combinational logic, that is the cumulative one, TPD1 plus TPD2, will give the max delay constraint. Okay, so max delay constraint is always associated with the, as I told, with the violations. Okay, so in this case, in this particular fashion, it is nothing but TC minus 2 times of TPDQ1 for this particular block and this particular block. Okay, it is as simple as that. Okay, so that will give the correct values in terms of propagation delay. So, okay, I have some problems to show so that I can able to correlate. Let me see. Yeah, these are uh, the different. I was talking about the equations. Okay, so sequencing overhead, that is equal to TC minus TPD. Okay, if you talk about in terms of sequencing overhead. Okay, and in the flip flop it should be equal to TPCQ plus T setup plus T skew. Okay, here we have not talked about the T skew. The as I discussed in yesterday, T skew is basically when the two clocks at the different locations are there and clocks are not coming simultaneously and there is a difference between the clock. So whatever the difference between the clock will be there, that is called the skew. Okay, and if the skew is concerned, in the if skew is there, so in that case what we have to consider, we have to consider the skew as well. Okay, so I'll take yeah, this is the example what we have done in case of a flip flop also, same example with skew. Okay, so if we have a clock, we have a q1 and we have a d2, like the previous exercise what we have. Okay, only different is that here additional thing is introduced, T skew. Okay, the clock is arriving after a certain period of time. The clock should arrive at this particular time. Okay, but clock is arriving after some time. Okay, after the T setup time. So you can say that the sequencing overhead will be inclusion of the clock skew. So whatever the clock skew timing will be there, how much time the clock is arriving at the next stage. Okay, let's say there's a delay of 10 picosecond, then you just add it in the 10 picosecond, that will make a sequencing overhead. So our equation was earlier TPCQ plus T setup, that is the equation TC minus TPCQ plus T setup. Now in the total time of this, it will include the T skew. Okay, that will give the correct figure. So the questions can come in terms of numerical point of view, that if the T skew is ignored, then there will be another answer, and if T skew is you can refer the previous question papers. Okay, if you have question papers, you can ask from your seniors, you'll find out some questions related to this in the interim paper examination. Okay, and the T skew, if it is given, then we need to consider it, and accordingly we need to calculate the values. Okay, for the sequencing overhead. Okay, so one kind of overhead is called the max delay constraint, and if you have able to understand the max delay constraint, okay, then I'll go to the min delay constraint. Okay, okay, what is max delay constraint? Because of the max delay constraint, we can have a setup violation occurs. So we need to design the combinational logic in such a way that it should have some maximum delay across the combination block. But in case of a minimum delay constraint, so this particular combinational block should have also a minimum delay, right? Maximum delay as well as the minimum delay. Okay, the minimum delay is derived from the contamination delay, not from the propagation delay. Maximum delay is derived from the propagation delay, right? So maximum delay we need to, as I told, the system should be stable. So we talk about the propagation delay. If anybody asks the question about the minimum delay constraint, so it is related with the contamination delay. So that is the difference between this that. So I'm again repeating the same thing. Okay, third time. Okay, third time means what? First we have discussed this diagram with propagation delay. Second we discussed this diagram with the clock skew. Third, same diagram again. Okay, flip flop 1, flip flop 2, combination logic, this is the same arrangement. Okay, third time is for minimum delay, how to calculate the minimum delay. Okay, so in this case you can see the clock is there. Okay, and then we have some delay, that is called the TCCQ. What is TCCQ? That is a contamination clock to queue delay that is arising that is coming because of the flip flop 1. Okay, and because it is giving output to the combination logic, so that is why it will decides what it should the minimum delay constraint. Okay, and then a very important concept, that is the hold time, right? What is hold time here? So like a similar to setup time is like just before arising the clock, your output must be stable, okay, for a certain period of time. That is called the setup time. Similarly, output must be stable after arising the clock. Okay, so as I give an example, let's say 100 picosecond, at the 100 picosecond point, the clock is arising. Okay, so at 70 picosecond, if the q1 is input is arising, okay, in this case the input will be equal to something else. Let's say input is x. Okay, so the x should be arise at the, or you can say in case of a flop 2, d2. So d2, this is the rising edge the clock, right? This, so d2 must be arrived before the 30 picosecond, right? Before the 30 picosecond. That is why setup time is called. Okay, but what is hold time means, if you, let's say hold time is also 30 picosecond, that means, so your output, that is output is what, q1, right? So q1 should also be valid. Okay, hold time, this is hold time with respect to particular clock. Okay, so the whole time will include this with respect to particular d2. Okay, so you can say the output must be stable after rising the clock. Okay, output must be also get some stable for certain period of time, it must be stable. Okay, that is called the hold time. Okay, like if we have a like 30 picosecond of hold time, that means your output should be valid up to 130 picosecond. So that means it should not, that the meaning is that at the rising edge of the clock, the input must be stable before some time, as well as the input must be stable after some time also. Then only we'll get the correct output. If let's say clock is arising and suddenly the input is changed, then there may be problem that the clock at the rising of the clock, it is not responded properly. Okay, because there are various delay associated with that. Okay, so that is why hold time is also very, very important. Okay, so min delay constraint is related to the hold time as well as. Okay, so you can say that we cannot overcome the limitation of the setup time and hold time, but we can design our combinational logic in such a way that we should not get any hold violation or setup violation. Okay, so this is the equation of a minimum delay constraint. So minimum delay constraint equation, that should be equal to t hold time minus t ccq plus t skew, if it is t skew is there. So in case of again minimum delay constraint, skew can occur. Okay, and skew, as I told, skew, you don't have to remember whatever equation is there, just add skew there. Okay, if you see that all the equations here, in all the cases, skew is nothing but a plus, right? So in case of a flip flop, you can see that t hold time minus t ccq plus t skew. Okay, so t hold is the time it is essential, minus t ccq plus t skew. Okay, that is the value will decide the minimum logic delay, or you can say this is called the contamination delay, TCD, for a combinational logic block. So always we are talking about the combinational logic block because it should design in proper way, so take care of the sequencing process. Okay, so that means we have said that this combinational logic, whatever will be put in between the latches or in between the flip flop, should be designed properly. It should have some minimum delay constraint as well as maximum delay constraint. So minimum delay constraint is required so that it will not violate the hold conditions, and the maximum delay constraint is required so that it will not violate the setup conditions. Okay, so these two important summary in from the discussion. Okay, and these are the different equations. I have just gone through the flip-flop equations. Okay, all the necessary equation related to the flop. Okay, so just in the book, I'm not going into detail. Just in the book also, there is two more timing diagrams related to two-phase transparent latch as well as the pulse latch is there. Similar to the flip-flop is there. Okay, according to the S sensitive or level sensitive, it will change the equation. Okay, that is the only difference we have. So please go through the complete the details of the sequential logic circuits. Okay, so there you'll find out where we have to go for a sequential logic circuit, how to calculate the sequencing overhead, how to calculate the minimum logic delay, right? If time borrowing, so is a time borrowing you can ignore. So well, it will not be covered in case of our syllabus. So you just focus on the with the skew and without skew. Okay, so these two things will be there in case of a previous question paper also. You can be see that there will be a questions related with the flip flop, question related with the latches. Okay, okay. So as I told that in case of a uh, flip flop is there, so we can replace this flip flop and we can make a this kind of arrangement, right? Okay, so that is called a latch. Okay, 5152 latch. So in that case, what should be the maximum delay constraint or minimum delay constraint equations? Okay, so all those things you can go with the reading and with the timing diagrams available in the book of Neil West. Okay, if we have any query related with this, we'll discuss in the class. Okay, so just like I'll give one. For the examination point of view. Okay, so these are the some equations. Okay, these are the summarized equation you can see. So if you gone through this timing diagram, then you will able to relate these equations. So there will be total six equation, three for the sequencing overhead related to max delay constraint, and three equations will be related to the minimum delay constraint, that is related to contamination delay. Okay, and because there are three arrangement, that is why there is a six number. One is flip flop, second is called two phase transparent latch, and third is called the pulse latches. So that is why three different blocks are there. Okay, three different sequencing elements are there. Pulse latches are different than the two phase transparent. Two phase latches we have uh, two different clock. In the pulse latches we have a clock very of very small value. Okay, that is called the pulse latch clock. Okay, because it will operate on the level sensitive range, so that is why pulse value is very small. So you can, here the TPW is the new term, that is called as nothing but pulse width. Okay, instead of a clock we'll use the concept of PW, that is called the pulse width. Okay, and similarly the equations for the this pulse latches you can see for the minimum contamination delay, that is T hold minus TCCQ plus TPW plus T skew. All those things are essential if you go with the learning with of the timing diagram. Okay, so is there any questions to from the student related to timing diagram? Okay, and for the question, yes, question perspective, you can open the book. Neil West book is there. Okay, you can find out unsolved problems. Okay, there is unsolved problems in the book. From that you can correlate which kind of questions, which type of questions will be asked in terms of numerical value, because they have some equations. Okay, and they have some numerical values should be given in the table. You need to find out max delay constraint and minimum delay constraint, or maybe you need to find out propagation delay or contamination delay of a particular combinational block given in that particular arrangement. Okay, by using the sequencing overhead. Okay, so in this particular chapter, please go through the particular chapter of a sequencing circuits of a Neil West book. You'll find out the unsolved problems there. I'm repeating, unsolved problems are there. Okay, there you can find out, use this equation. It will be utilize these equations, and you can come up with the answer if you are able to solve the problems. Okay, so for that we need to sit and go through the equation one by one. Okay, if you go just by seeing the screen, it will not be feasible to catch all the crux there. Okay, so please go through the book and read the book. My suggestion will be read the book, then only you will be able to understand this topic. So you might I have seen that many of the student has done many mistake in calculations itself. Okay, because they have not written, they overlap the equations. So instead of contamination delay, they are writing the equation of propagation delay. Propagation delay is asked, then you are writing the contamination delay equation. So this might happen because there are various elements are there. As I told, flip flop has separate equation, two phase has different equation, and pulse latch has a different equation, and there is equation of max delay constant, and there is equation of a mean delay constant. Okay, so there will be some confusions may occur. Okay, so that is why I'm repeating it again. Please go through the logic. Okay, the logic is that for there are two types of questions can ask. One is related to the max delay constraint, and what is the mean delay constraint. Okay, and what is the consequence of the max delay constraint, why we are calculating, because the max delay constraint will leads to a setup violation. Okay, setup time violation, and setup and hold time are very essential. And second is the minimum delay constraint, and minimum delay constraint is related with the hold violations. Okay, so that should not occur. Okay, not the setup time violation as well as hold time violation should occur. Okay, must not occur. Okay, so that is why we are calculating the timings, and we are putting the combinational logic circuits design in such a way that it will fulfill the criteria, and will able to perform the sequential logic circuit very nice manner. Okay, without the any violations. Okay, so please read these terminologies also, like what is sequencing, what is sequencing overhead. Okay, what is the timing delay, or what kind of various delays are associated with that. Okay, please go through it. If you have any query, we can be able to answer in the next class. Okay, so as I told also, I'll might be taking one quiz, and then timing I will decide. Okay, later I'll announce after tomorrow's class. So tomorrow we'll discuss about the last topic that is related to memory element. Okay, so I'll give just finish my last topic tomorrow, then I will announce the date of the quiz.
Sir,
Yeah, yeah, please.
so please share all the slides you have not shared yet in the classroom.
The noise margin topic was left in the class, but you can read it by yourself. Okay, it's not very complicated. How to calculate the noise margin of a simple logic circuits. So I have left this topic for the audience for you to study noise margin part.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes,
Sir, am I audible?
yes, audible.
So please share the slides on
Sure, sure.
classroom.
I'll share the slide today.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And so, what about attendance?
Yeah, start. I told you, na, started the attendance. Please mark
Okay,
your
sir. Okay.
attendance.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, Inder. How are you? Are you listening? Inder Kumar Sharma.
Yes, Professor. Good morning.
Good morning. So, where are you nowadays? Hometown
Here,
or you are staying in hostel?
no, I'm staying at home right now.
Acha, staying at home.
Yeah, I'll be in hostel within a week. I mean, by 26, I think.
Are they allowing to come? Means I think it is asked that whatever, where are you currently, you should be there only once the things COVID got clear. Okay.
Oh, okay, Professor.
Hmm.
And
And when it is your next semester going to start? I think some date is announced, right?
yeah, from 1st February, I think.
Okay, first Feb is there.
Yes.
Okay, it's not too far.
So any idea when are the exams going to happen?
Mostly maybe after the same time, third, even like fifth and sixth will come simultaneously.
So
But
it
in
will
if
get matched up.
yeah, if the things get clear, like COVID situation was overcome early, then you can request in between. Like suppose in February situation is good, right? So by the last week of February and all those things, you request to the concern so that you'll your examination can be done early. But if the COVID situation will remain till March, then it will be very difficult. Then it will be at the end of the sixth semester teaching only. So it depends on the situations.
So some students are going to come by 6th February for GATE exam.
Is there some news is also going on some postponement of GATE exam also? I think na? No.
No, sir, now admit card has been released.
Acha, okay, it is released. Okay. Okay, some are like wanting that it should not happen, something like that. Some agencies are some, uh, but IIT Kharagpur has to decide na, with that too. What is the date of this exam?
So I think it's 6th February.
6th February. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And and then you find this time whether pre-final year can appear for exam or not.
Yeah, sir. Third year and fourth year both can appear.
Because in earlier it was third year and fourth year both. In between, sometime they have basically asked to only appear for the final year. I think from last few year they are allowing it again. Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha, admit card is already started. So you are all the you are preparing for you are appearing for exam. Kate, are you appearing for exam?
So filled the form but not appearing seriously for exam.
May which center you have put? Jaipur.
Yeah, sir. Jaipur itself.
Okay. So, all the topics like I think up to six semesters are covered in your syllabus, or anything remaining like for the gate. If you have gone through the syllabus, I have not seen the syllabus, uh, but mostly I saw that up to six semester all the subjects are covered, right?
Yeah, sir. Almost
It,
everything is covered in CMOS. Because CMOS has not very much large syllabus involved in GATE exam. Most
but
portion is of
but I
general
can ensure
education.
that there will be more question from the CMOS. You because nowadays BJTs and PN junction has become too old, so that is why the question paper setter, IIT people are question paper setter. They teach these subjects, so they'll ask questions more on the MOSFET as compared to the PN junction and BJT. We'll find out more questions. So it is not a separate thing, but it is inside the electronic devices they are considering, right? Electronic devices. And digital circuit was always about the, in case of a gate syllabus, not at the level of CMOS, it is the level of gates only, right? Not the circuit level, CMOS level, at the gate level. Digital, all the digital circuits are there. Like sequential circuit, if you talk about, they are counter, shift register, FSM, propagation delay, setup and hold time. All those things are at the gate level only. And then semiconductor memories are important. Okay. There must be a question, I think, on the SRAM or DRAM. Control system was remaining. Na? Which subject you have not read up to 6th semester? Control system will come in next semester. And electromagnetics you have studied? Electromagnetics, communications. Okay, then I'll stop here. Okay, please mark your attendance. I'm going to close.